Here we go. Most people think they need to do more to manifest more, right? You need to not watch another video, you need to read another book. That's why you're here. But the truth is, the more you chase, the more you delay your manifestations. Let's talk about this because I have a Danish framework, or not a Danish framework, but I'm from Denmark. I have a framework that I do with my clients, which is called the Directions Presence Framework. And it's a practical model that you can use in your day-to-day manifestations routines, and it stops being theory, and it is only practical. And that's what I like about this model, that you do not need to think about it, you do not need to watch another video, you just need to implement this, and if you get it, it will change your life. So let's talk about it. I'm going to make you some very bad drawings on my iPad, because I think that will be the best way to explain this. So let's get started, shall we? Thank you. D P direction and presence. And these are the two keys actually. If you unlock them, then your manifestations will appear instantly. And let me tell you about instantly, because a lot of people mistake this. But the DP framework, first off, direction. Yeah. So this is where most people already stop their manifestation journey, because they are looking for something that is not appearing in their reality, and they try harder. And by trying harder, the manifestations will not appear. Think about it like this: if you punch into water, the water punches back in some way, right? It's harder. And the physical reality, the 3D reality, is the same. If you push it, it will just push back. If you just let go and surrender, the flow will come naturally. But that's not for now. So let's say that you are here, right? You are at this point. I'm not sure if you can see these little dots, but hopefully you can. And you are headed in a direction right now in your life based on your emotional frequency. So your visualizations, your manifestations, your vision board, it's not really doing anything, only for 20 minutes each morning, maybe. But for the rest of the day, you have like an emotional state. And that is your direction. So your emotional state is actually your compass. And that emotional state tells you where you're going. So let's say that up here you have a car and a house that you want. And you can actually get that car and house, but only by changing the direction of the way you're going. And right now, you're just going in the wrong direction, right? You're just going to a future that is not your ideal future. And that future does not include car and house. I'm just saying things, right? But please extrapolate this to whatever you would like. So, what we need to do before working, because if you start working now, working hard, you're trying to solve this, then you're just working in this direction and not getting it. So that's all. That's why I always say to my clients in the Transcendence Blueprint that you have to align. I don't care how much you work. If you work just for 1 hour each day, 2 hours, 3 hours, that is enough to become a millionaire. But only if it's aligned work. So always check with your emotions first. So because and that is actually what instant manifestation means. This is your timeline right now, right? Going in the right direction, wrong direction. And then you go over here, and then suddenly you change your feelings a bit. Then you move up here. And now your direction is this. And you're closer to the car and house. And then you change your emotions a bit more to a feeling of authenticity, gratitude. And now you've arrived here in life. And the direction is yours. Your dream reality has occurred. Because time is an illusion, and we should not talk about that in this video. But all that is on this direction is in this moment. And that is what instant manifestation means. And I hope that this makes sense, that the car and house is now yours. It did not used to be yours. Before you changed the direction, it was just simply a desire. But now, when you're headed in the right direction, it's yours. So instead of visualizing doing all this stuff, check with your emotions 5 times a day. Muslims watching this video will have an easy time doing this. You can just do it when you pray. But all you other guys, I would have you set your phone to 5 times a day, asking you to check your emotional direction. What am I broadcasting? Because what you are broadcasting, you are receiving. This is what I'm doing with my clients. Yeah. So as you might be able to hear from my accent, I'm from Denmark, so all my clients are Danish. I work as a transformative coach for entrepreneurs. But direction, that's point number one. What about presence? All religions talk about it. All major spiritual teachers talk about it. Why do you need to be present? And it's because somehow you are broadcasting into the universe that you are not contained with it, that you are not happy about it if you're always somewhere else. And what happens actually is that because everything is happening now, then if you are in the now, you can receive your manifestation. If you are not in the now, you are not in your timeline. That's why you rarely, when you dissociate, when you think about stuff, you rarely do feel, you only feel emotions in the present moment. In your thoughts, you're just away. How can I tell you this in a more like easy way? So, for example, if you meet up with friends that you really like, and time just moves on so slowly, how can that be? Or that's not like time moves on fast. That's what I wanted to say. So 4 hours, 5 hours, the whole night, it can become morning and you did not notice because you just had such a good time. And when you're actively present, time just does not exist actually. And so when you, let's say that you are here, I'm just going to draw it for you. And this over here is your desired reality. And we have like lots of moments in between you and the desired reality when you are not present. And every time that you are present, you move up a notch. And when you are like being present for a long time, then you collapse all these realities, and it can actually like reach you. And I've seen this actively with some of my clients that are way too much in their head, and they stay in the head all the time because they are used to using the head for good. They are used to like, I need to solve this, I need to solve this, I need to solve this. And then we do a few exercises which gets them into the now. And they are supposed to keep that state. And I had one client that kept not entirely present, but really, really tried just during the weekend to be present and not think about anything else. And what he had been looking for 4 to 5 years in terms of business opportunities, they showed up that Monday. And that's the power of the now. And it makes sense that you can only see one reality, right? That's from quantum mechanics. The reality you observe collapses. And if you are not present, you are actually observing a reality that is not yours. You are actually observing a reality that is not this one. And it is in this one. If you tune in correctly, change your compass, change your direction, it is in this now that you have your manifestation. So if you're not choosing to be in this now, you cannot receive it. And that's why it's way, way easier to manifest than everybody says it is. It's not a matter of doing more work. It's not a matter of doing more affirmations. These are the two first things I have my clients do. become aware of your direction emotionally. And there can be a lot of work involved in that. That's true. But become aware of it, firstly. And then secondly, become present. Stop thinking so much. I know that you think you need to be in the future to stay in the end, but you don't. You actually just need to have a desire, have an intention, figure out which way you're going emotionally, tune in. And tuning in means that finding your authentic self. We'll talk more about that in the future video. Feeling gratitude, feeling joy, doing what you're passionate about. And when you do that and combine it with presence, all your manifestations will suddenly appear into your reality. I used to do this on my own, the opposite of this, actually. I used to work very hard in the wrong direction. I have always been exceptionally good at manifesting. The problem is that after some childhood trauma, I started manifesting the wrong life. When I was a kid, before trauma, every contest I ever entered, I won. And my friends, my childhood friends, know this. But so I'm good at being present, but the direction was lost, and then I manifested losing a company, almost losing my wife. Luckily, that didn't happen. I'm getting like emotional just talking about it. But this method works. And when I realized how easy it was, then it made sense. Now I hardly ever work. I make more money than I can spend. And hopefully I can help you doing the same. I have some Danish clients, primarily entrepreneurs, that are looking to accelerate their life, explode revenue, and you do that by realizing that you do not need more, you need less. You do not need more books, more work. So we'll talk about that in the next video. We'll talk about how I, with all my clients, ask them to take one day off a week to do what they're passionate about instead of working. That's a funny little thing. We can talk about that in the next video, how less equals more. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you would like that. If you would not like that, then don't. But I will keep on updating you guys with practical advice from my everyday business. What do I do with my clients and what do I see working? So I will not be posting a lot of theory stuff. I will mostly be posting practical stuff like this. So thanks. Bye.